think. What is wrong with my computer? It's not recording. Do I have malice?
I am the malice.
First ball.
Let's call Garrett.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another iteration. Let's get it. Another iteration of the deck profiles. I did great. So super happy. We had a very eventful weekend. We went to the WCQ regional qualifier in Idaho. Like we've said before, and I'm sure that you guys have already caught on, we are based out of Utah, and that's about like a 4.5, 5 hour drive. It was so much fun just because it was like a bunch of our local friends. It was me, myself, Jared, and a couple of other friends. I think you might have seen a couple of them in the channel, but yeah, it was an SUV full of people, and it was just laughs and giggles the whole way. Just hung out, got there like pretty close to midnight, super exhausted, and woke up, went to the event, and it was a wrap. Like, we just head back home afterwards. Another 5 hour drive after the whole event. But yeah, and we did solid, guys. I've been playing for about 7 months or so, according to what Jared told me on the right here, because I don't know, I think it was about January when we started playing competitively, and this is our prize. We were able to qualify top 8, and we got the Skystrike mats. It looks just absolutely beautiful. I usually try to move my prizes, but I think I'm gonna keep this one as memorabilia because it's just amazing. Like the first more major, I would say, tournaments that I've been able to top. I think it's a tier 2, if I'm not mistaken. And we brought the trusty Maliss. Like, I think you guys might know at this point that I really like that deck. That's probably like my favorite deck all time. But I just haven't showcased it a lot in the channel. I think there's a couple of deck profiles that I've done off of box tournaments and whatnot, but I don't know, I just felt like I never accomplished enough that I wanted with the deck. And since we got Justice Centers, I feel that a couple of the strong decks are fading out. Like, less people are playing Malice, a lot less people are playing Rise. Mitsurugi's still pretty prominent. I think it did take a top spot, if I'm not mistaken, but everything at the top, except with like the first place, it just caught up everything off guard. It was Horus, Odeon, Eldritch, so it was pretty crazy. Like, I don't think it just caught people off guard. I don't think anyone was ready for it. And any events where I've seen in Horus, not a Horus deck, right? When an Odeon deck, it's just done very well, just because people are not expecting for someone to be playing trap monsters, and it was pretty funny, but pretty solid as well. But yeah, like I was saying, most of the top decks were a lot of the new decks. You had a couple of yummies. You had Draco Tail. In the top 16, you had Vanquish Soul Cannon. Jared just confirmed that he was the second highest, but there's like about 5 total decks out of like 80 players. But yeah, and we brought the Malice, and as far as I know, it was just myself and someone else. And I don't know how they did, just because I was focusing on it on the style that I was playing, like not really thinking about how even my friends were doing. Just because I tried to be locked in. It was the best I've done, and we just cruised. The only match that we dropped was like round 3, but we Omega Bricked. It was like triple Ash, double Nibiru. And yeah, just hate to see it, but I mean, the odds are there. It doesn't matter what your deck count is and stuff. Just when you spam your deck with trying to cover as many matchups and have as many outs as possible, it's bound to happen. Like, I mean, we've all lost it to breaking. But yeah, let's move on to the deck. See, in the main deck, we were playing 41, and honestly, I felt it very good. There is an idea that I had here based on how the OCG plays as far as one of the hand traps, because we were expecting it to just draw it off the chart list. But you'll see it here in a little bit. But for engine, trying to max out on the important names and starters, so 2 Dormouse, and we played 2 Rabbit as well. Chessy Cat is an amazing card. I like the Ash Bait and the just general ability that it has, but also it's a good card to cut out when you're siding, going second, or even going first, just if you want to, depending what the matchup is. So having to gives you that siding space and as well versatility to like be able to send it to the grave if you're already holding Dormouse in order to like either bait a trap or just go +2 with the double draw. March Hare. I really like this card. I think it is amazing since it came out as pretty solid, but I think 2 is correct. That way you don't necessarily break on it because it's for sure your best extender. But yeah, I don't know. When I was playing at 3, I just saw it too much. And sometimes when I was using other engines like Fiendsmith, and for a little bit I played Mitsurugi, I would see it a lot for some reason, and I don't know. It just felt kind of negative as far as that. But for the Malice names, that is about it. After that, we went with a couple of pseudo Malice cards. We have Bestials. We played double Baldric, single Mag, and a single Druisworm. So 4 names. When we were testing and talking about how this engine plays, I really liked it as is because Baldric just removes the body, and it banishes as well. And as all of them, to special summon them, of course, you know what they do. They banish other names, and either dark or lights, and all the Malice names are dark. But Baldric is one of my favorite bestials for sure, just because it has that one hitting effect, I guess, that I don't know if people are like super aware of it, because everyone knows what it does. But I don't know, I feel like I did catch it off guard in higher tables too. My opponents, when they would make something and I only had like this and Malice name to tribute and banish it, and my opponents would either say, "Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot," or like, I didn't know I did that. So I don't know, that was good. I think our matchups were pretty solid. But yeah, the 4 Bestials. All right, and moving into our other engine, one of, I would say, not necessarily half the engine because it's about like 4 cards, and you know what it is, but I feel like it's very identified as the Malice Ignister. And let's see, we have Triple Backup, which honestly is great because we always have a Link monster. We have a couple of Link ones that are just easy to bring out, and this always brings it online. And just depending on who you're playing, it sometimes throws them off guard if they're not expecting for you to be holding it. Which, I don't know, I feel like it's something that good players are always aware of. Like every time I played like in top tables, or even when I played Jared, just because of how much he's played against me with this deck, he would always do his best to remove the Link on the field, just so I wouldn't I wouldn't special summon it. But a great card, great search, and pairing it up with Wizard. And just leaving it in this lineup, the special tech was playing single Iblet, which is amazing because oftentimes I would open a good hand, or even if I didn't and I knew that my opponent would have a hard time outing Iblet, I would usually search it off of backup and discard it itself. Because if I'm already, I don't know, holding a March or like 2 Malice names, or for some reason along the combo I already have a Malice name on board, this is great to bring back with Splash Page and special summon it and link it off into something else. I don't know, Link 1 or whatever, or play the route that I choose to play. Because when this gets into the graveyard, it summons to your opponent's side of the field, and it locks them into Link summoning, and that protects you from yugioh as well. So if you're able to get this out in 4 summons, or even in 5, like it'll be on their side, and they won't be able to activate yugioh. So that's a protection, and you don't have to waste any on that if you have one early within 4 summons. Now moving into the non-engine, we have our hand traps, and I don't know, it's pretty hit or miss on this one because you do want to be very aware of K9. K9 is a very strong engine, and if they're able to play it on your turn, they would be able to make very problematic monsters that at the end of the day is just very devastating in your gameplay when you're trying to play against them. Because I don't know, usually what I see other, especially like the prominent decks like Vanquish Soul make, or anyone really that's on the K9, because they can just get to whatever XCs depending on whatever they're able to get onto the board, is Nash Knight. They just can get rid of your normal summon. They can get rid of your best starter. I don't know. I think the one play that I saw, and I mean, it's happened to me a couple of times for sure, but the most annoying thing to see is for me to be able to normal summon Dormouse and then they just activate Lupus and Quick XC and take it. And that's the only bad thing about Dormouse, that it's not a quick effect. You have to be at an open game state to activate that effect. But yeah, so that is just my idea on the hand traps. Even though we did play a good number of them, is worth it to kind of be able to read the state of the game or save certain things that you see yourself forced into actually having to play into K9. Just save certain hand traps, like I don't know, classic 3-Ash, right? But usually on that one, when I played into K9 already, is because I used Charmies. See, we were running 5 Charmies, and we usually just pull this one for Izuna once she's in the field, so Lupus can't get into the field. And if it's in their hand, they just have it. And a single Nibiru. And this is off of the idea that we are going to be able to have heavy draws, and we will be able to see it at some point. Even if they didn't take the bait with the Chelsea Cat, we might see it off of a double draw, or we are also playing talent, so draw 2. Again, reading the game, the state of the game. Sometimes it's more worth taking control of the monster or ripping a card out of the hand just to minimize their starters. But if you are under one of these already, they will be able to play into your and within your turn. And if it's vanquishable, I feel it's more problematic than anything. But yeah, that's kind of the idea of Winnebeer. And then for our spells, we just have the regular Malice spells to begin with. We have 2 field spell and 1 in-engine, sort of an imperm because it targets, right? Even though we don't have that column. But yeah, I really like this one because it of course negates in the field and it requires you to banish a Malice monster. And if you have Binder or Ransom, it's pretty strong. And then the other Malice spells, Sark and Terraforming, another field spell, and another potential full combo. And then our other 2 cards are part of the Holy Trinity, our Talents and our Cult By. This did a bunch of work for me during the region. I was able to pretty much secure a game against Orcus by taking control of Elingirsu with this. I was able to extend when I had nothing in my hand against Blue Eyes in the last match by drawing 2. And then as far as the trap goes, we are just playing 2 of the Malice traps. And I honestly love these WC06. I've seen a lot of lists that have cut it up together and they just use the search and the banish you're controlling a Malice link, which is pretty powerful. Like, you can get rid of the field spells for Yummy, the field spell for Vanquishal. You can get rid of the continuous spell, Kiss for K9, and it's not going to resolve just because it has to be in the field. And any other problematic cards that you benefit from removing from the field. And yeah, so that's what makes this card very good. But I don't know, this is the underdog because you have no idea how many games I have stolen. And yes, that's right, stolen playing this card. I've done it to my friends, I've done it to very close duelists, I've done it to people I'm very fond of, and to my enemies as well. And they all hate me, and I'm okay with that. But no, GWC is perfect. This is like your other Marcher, your flip copy of Marcher, your other extender. And if you need to banish something in your field in your turn, that's amazing too. And the special summon something else can give you an extra body. And the bonus effects when intent, gain those life points. Now on our non-engine traps, we have a triple imperm, and I have not dropped it. I have not cut it down to 2, never cut it down to 1, always played it at 3, even though people in the last format were saying it was bad. It's great because it puts impulse online, and right now it's amazing because it doesn't activate in your hand. It dodges K9, and if they go any effect that summons that is not in the graveyard already. I mean, because if it's in the graveyard, it's just going to stay regardless in the graveyard. But if it's anywhere else, it's going to destroy that effect, that target. I saw it at the regional specifically, and the one match that I lost when I bricked, I had like 1 of these and 2 of these, plus other hand traps. But I was able to pop their Holy Suit because I can't remember what I impermed. I think it was Mad Love. and then activate Holy Seal from hand to special, impulse, and just end it great. And we just went to the next game. I think that's the only game that I won. But yeah, it's just solid. It gives you a free trap in the grave in order to pop with impulse, and does purge pop as well. You have a trap, and Songs of the Dominators lets you search a Dominator card if you have is it a monster or a trap? I don't know. But it's always good having a trap for these cards, which are just busted. Into our extra deck, there was a small tech that I combined with the extra deck and my side deck. I just put the last 2 cards at the very end so we can look at those afterwards. But yeah, Link ones. We're playing the Link Spider to extend off of Nibiru. Almirage, any normal summon is a Cyberse Link one. And the Link Disciple, which is amazing. It's a light. I didn't really use this effect that often. I think I used it like once or twice when I needed to try to fix my hand. If you tribute the monster that this is pointing to, it allows you to draw 1 and discard 1. So, I mean, if I had too many Charmies, maybe, I don't know, I drew a Dormouse and discarded a Charmy. Which, it was great for sure. But the main idea behind the Link Disciple is that it links off easily off Ibli for the Ibli block, or it's also an access code target off of a single monster. So we have right here on its own, it's Earth, Fire, and Light, which is 3 access code pops in one turn. And we had a Masquerena. Didn't make her a single time. I don't think I'll cut her though, because I like the Little Knight Vanish, and you can just do other funny things like making yourself a Bomber Dragon when they're not expecting it, depending on the matchup. It's pretty good. Wicked, trusty. It banishes the name. If it hasn't been banished just yet for the search, it's gonna extend your Malice combo, and it searches your backup, which is just insane. Lizardos, I don't know why. I've been playing Malice since release, and I just found out that the banish effect on Lizardos is cost. I had no idea. So activate and send as cost, which is crazy because that, even if it gets negated, extends your Malice combo. And of course, Link 2 right here. And then we have the Splash Mage, because we're behind. We've always been behind, which is fine. Got our Little Knights, and that does it for Link 2. And also, both Lizardos and Splash Mage are water, another access code target. You're always for sure going to make all of these, and at least one of these, which is just insane. And Link 3s, we are playing only 2 of the Malice Queens, Red Ransom and Binder. You know what these bad boy, or should I say bad girls, do? They're darks, and they are amazing for the OTKs, of course, combined with their effects and their hidden effects as well. Switch attack and defense, and this one, I don't think, yeah, this one doesn't have a pointing effect, but it lets you draw, it lets you banish 3. It's the busted one, and that people want banned. Konami, please don't. I don't want to drop this deck just yet. And our Link Force, we got the Bomber Dragon, which we made like once to crash into Jet, because we didn't have anything else to out the Jet. And Access Code, which is just my boy, wins all the games. No, we forgot to make it last round, so that's why we didn't get up higher place. We would have gotten top 3 if we made Access Code in the last minute. But we just fumbled. Happens. And then Link 5, Ali Code Talker, Obby Negates, and it gives you the ability to tag out. Well, I don't run the Linger Removal currently. I don't know. I might try to fit it, implement it. I just cut that, and I had 2 Linger Revos, and I cut them for these 2 cards. But yeah, the Obby Negate is very good, and if you're able to keep it until they pass turn back to you, and you still have another Link pointing to this, you can do it again. And the last 2 tech cards are Link 1, Yumi Snatchy, and a rank 5 K917 Ripper. And the majority of you might already know why I'm running these, but yeah, we'll just go over it on the side deck. Side deck, we got 3 Lancia. If anyone tells you that this card is bad now, don't listen to them. Well, yeah, listen to them so I can beat you. But that's exactly what happened. There was 2 matches. It just blew my mind. It was insane. I just went full Malice combo, and my opponents were just like sitting there with like, after ashing me and impriming me and stuff. They just said, honestly, I just took out Lancia because I thought it was not good anymore. I was not going to see any Malice, and that was my first round opponent, I think. You just cut Lancey for something else for some reason, which I took. It was great, but yeah, do not cut this card. Also, best rarity: Gold Lancia, Maximum Gold, Peak. Then we got a triple drill, just because Mitsurugi is still a deck. This covers a good amount of matchups still. Like, I mean, it's good into Blue Eye still. Mitsurugi Raizu is amazing, just shuts down the deck. And yeah, there is a lot of rogue that still gets hurt a lot by rolls. And then the tech that we ran was triple cherries, and I honestly won a match because of cherries on Yummy for Snatchy. I just ended all plays that they had. And on Ripper as well against Vanquish Soul Canine. I can't even remember. I think I activated a hand trap, and then they made Izuna. And then when Izuna affects to dump to grave, I didn't use my Ash, but I went cherries to banish the Rippers, and they were not able to go into Ripper because I think that was the only non-light that they had. Well, actually, Izuna does not block your lights. Two lights out of lights. I'm tripping, but yeah,
that shuts off the bridge.
Yeah, it does shut off the bridge, but this shuts off their search for case. That's what you search for, right? Which is great because off of that they go all the way into the quick play, which just helps you rank up. So this was a busted tech. But the new support is not going to be as good because they'll be able to do stuff. I haven't read our Marshmallow all the way through. I think it's only spells, or is it any gimme card? Yeah, so they can return them off of cherries, but I mean, I don't think is all of them at the same time. So I mean, being able to cut off as many resources as possible is always great. And let's see, we had another new bureau. We had two on the side, but I'll tell you a little story here in a second. We cut one, and like I said, it's more or less a flex spot. Like if you have a matchup where the bureau is very good, it's just gonna be good. Like, I mean, you're gonna add this and have higher chances to draw it with the one that we already have in the main. And the reasoning on that was when I had two, but I just kind of try to stick to the same idea on adding as many Nibiru as possible. And if the matchup doesn't call for it, just remove the one that you have already in your deck, and it gives you an easy card to sign up. And then another cherry stargates. We did not play a Drake Hotel at all at the event, but I mean, we're just ready because like those were the three decks that people were wanting to play for sure. It's the new kids in town, and this is their main fusions. And I don't know how devastating this is. I don't think it's as bad as against Yummy and maybe a pure Canine build. I had a Rock on the Vanquisher before, but I mean that does cut off some resources off of them. But since they're not completely on pure Vanquisher anymore, they have more. There's more possibilities that they're going to see more Canine cards. And I feel that ripping out Rock on Vanquisher is not as good as ripping out Ripper. So yeah, one Arthelian. And then MVP spell of the night also was Book of Clips. We won so many games with this. And not to throw shade or anything, but this is kind of what sealed. And another play, my game against Jared. He had I think he made Izuna, sent Lupus. And then brought back Lupus and activated the effects. No, he went Lantern into JUHU. And then when he had 4 bodies, he was going to go Lupus to quick season my turn. And then I activated this, flip everything. And even though he drew 4 cards, I mean, there's no boss monster in the field, which is fine. And lastly, Crossout Designator. Crossout. I have a love-hate relationship with Crossouts, even though it is part of the Holy Trinity. Crossouts is my boo for this event. So that's the other spot where I had the other bureau. And this is gonna sound cheesy or insane, but this is what happened. We were at the hotel. We were talking about the side mostly because I was kind of undecided on the side. I had not filled out my deck list just yet. I just brought blank sheets of paper to make the deck list in the morning. And then one of our friends in the group said, "What do you think about Crossout?" I was like, "It's the one-off. Like, what are the chances that I'm going to see it? I rather have more consistency than anything." And of course, while it is true that you have to, it's better to cover your weak spots rather than trying to cover as many matchups as possible. It's for sure always good to use a card that kind of does that. It's always worth having in your deck, but I think you gain a lot more value from trying to minimize the weak points that your deck has. And this pure Malice build, including Bestials as well, IP Masquerena, not Masquerena, SP Little Nate, there you go, also banishes, and Lancia just is devastating against this deck. We've known that. That's the reason why Malice hasn't done as good in my opinion, just because there was something like a single card that just stopped it in its tracks. I honestly believe that it's better than Ryzio for sure, like miles away, but Lancia does exist. And on this one, someone said, "What do you think about that?" And I just said I was kind of indecisive and didn't think it was worth for what my idea was. But that night, and I was probably delirious too, just because I drove the whole time there. And then at night, I just had a random dream where I just heard that side in crossout. And I was like, what do I cut? They're like, you have some random Nibiros that you're probably not even going to see. And yeah, I never resolved Nibiro. I never needed it. I set it in one Lancia, one crossout designator in one of my matches. It was game 3. It was a pretty tough situation, and I just saw the crossout. My opponent Lancia, I had the crossout, and it was kind of GG's. Like I was able to go full combo, and yeah, I was able to go crossout when they Lancia'd me, and I was able to go full combo. And my opponent, I don't know why they didn't scoop. I was just scared of what they had in their hand because they still had 2 cards, but it was nothing. They just this one, like GG, kind of like this. Where are you guys? GG. No face bump for me. GG. But yeah, that is it for the deck. I hope you guys enjoy it, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what your thoughts are on this deck build. We have to get to that so we can keep bringing great competitive content for you guys. But as always, you know that we have your backs. There's always going to be entertainment in this channel. But yeah, thanks so much, guys, and peace out.